Hello and welcome back. It's time for Chit Chat with Two Teas. As usual, I am your host and counseling psychologist, JL Valdez. And with me today is our extra special guest, Laume. All my guests are extra special. Miss Harmony Farrell. Is Farrell or Farrell?
Depends on where in Trinidad you're from.
What's your name? Like how you say it? How your mother tell you your name is?
My family says Farrell.
Yeah, and you say?
It depends. If I'm going up for a pageant, I'll say Farrell.
Miss Harmony Farrell.
Yay!
Welcome.
Thank you.
We are happy to have you.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here.
Yes, it's been a hot minute. We've been trying to get you.
Let me get some soda.
Just want to put that out there. You only feel we just say, hey, come on the show, and people just come. Like, it's been a lot to actually get them to be sitting with us, right? Again, we are at our unofficial studio, the Fresh Press Factory.
The lovely Fresh Press Factory.
Yes, this is your first time here, right?
Yes, and it certainly won't be my last.
Hey, right? So, big up to Kenisha and the Fresh Press Farm, right? You can come visit them at number 57 Naparima Mayara Road, current San Fernando, and see all the goodies they have, including our pretty drinks, right? So, but before we get into our pretty drinks, Harmony, could you just tell us about yourself? I didn't even want to give Harmony a title order because we'll be here holy. So,
Renaissance woman.
Renaissance woman. That's right.
Okay. So I am Harmony Farrell.
Yeah.
Also known as the artist formerly known as Hotford Harmony.
Oh, formally, we're not doing that again?
No, we're still doing it.
Okay.
But I have some qualms about what that has come to mean in terms of public perception of me, but that's a different conversation.
Fair enough.
I am woman of the arts, lover of the arts.
That's right.
Lover of Trinidad and Tobago, lover of the Caribbean, lover of carnival, cultural enthusiast, writer, performer, poet,
Educator,
digital content producer, and lover of strippiness.
I think the last one is my favorite. Right, so you are a lover.
I am a lover.
You are a lover.
Yeah, that's what my name, suggests.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Well, don't get twisted. It's not everybody is not Harmony friend. Okay? So she's a lover, but she has boundaries.
Correct.
She has boundaries.
As you should.
That's right. So, which brings us to our beautiful drinks in terms of what is in our cup. Well, I have the No Man's Land, right? It is a mocktail.
It has glitter.
Is it a mocktail? It's not a mocktail. It is a refresher with tea in it. I see it has butterfly and glitter. It has gold specks. It has tea in it, and there's also butterfly blue pea, right? I'm familiar. I know in season 1 we had Nature Sprouts, and they actually do the butterfly blue pea. So many syllables. Butterfly blue pea powder that you could put in your smoothies, etc.
Oh, nice.
But they have the actual flower in here. So what do you have?
And you can eat the flower.
You can eat the flower.
Yes,
you can eat the
an
flower.
edible
You will
flower.
not die. So yes.
Nice. So I have a watermelon.
Melanin. Formerly known. The drink formerly known.
The drink formerly known as watermelon. It's a mocktail. Do you want me to tell you why I got it?
Yes.
Well, it's pretty hot today.
It is.
So I wanted something that's a bit refreshing, but then mocktails are cute. And it has a popsicle.
It does have a popsicle, which also has nice coldness on it too.
It does.
Yay!
Yes, the popsicle has. Yeah, man.
Kenisha is over us.
Feeling like royalty with all the gold that's happening. So yeah, I think a mocktail is a very easy way to have a little bit of luxury.
Yeah,
it's a drink, but it looks fancy.
Yes, it does scream luxury.
Yeah, and I just loved all of the different ingredients. It has many different types of juice inside here. That all seem very refreshing. Yeah. And so an umbrella to go out in the sun.
Yes, because the sun is hot. So we have our umbrellas.
Yeah.
Right? So thank you to Fresh Press for just thinking of everything, really.
Yeah.
Right? Because, of course, it's Chit Chat with 2 Teas. So I'd have something with a little tea in it. Right? And then the butterfly blue pea is very good for you in terms of your mental health as well. It's good for anxiety.
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yes. Listen. There's a nutrition place here.
Well, I know that.
So the healthy things are
I know that that's what they're
even the things that look like unhealthy, like decadently unhealthy.
Nutrition.
That's right. It's in there. Right? So that's what's in our, glasses today. We're not doing cups, right? Literally. But Harmony, can you tell us what's in your cup figuratively? What's happening with you? What's going on? I'm pretty sure that cup is overflowing. Yeah. But I want you to tell us.
So it's overflowing in different ways. I think my cup runneth over.
Hello.
With opportunities to do things, to meet people, to experience a lot of different things, to get form new relationships with people. But being the busy person that I am, my cup is filled with a lot of projects and a lot of decisions, because being an adult,
adulting is trash.
It's
I tell everybody.
Really quite horrible,
It's trash.
It's really quite awful. But
that's not the story they told us in school. By the way, that's one of the reasons why Harmony is extra special, because she's repping the HFC. As you can see, my jersey today. All right, this is our carnival. Anyway, I'll talk about that.
You should have told me how to wear mine.
I didn't think about it until last night. But when you come back, because we'll have you back, we can wear matching jerseys.
No, for
right?
sure.
But this is #woman in maroon over here, right? Carry on. Sorry.
Yeah. So my cup is quite filled with a lot of things that I honestly am trying to empty, just because I'm trying to economize on my time and my effort in 2024 in a different way, because I went into a very dark place last year where I just felt like I was always busy. I was always doing something, and I would get all of these comments and compliments about what I was doing, but it didn't seem like it was fulfilling. So it fulfilled the creative side of me, because I was getting to do things. But there's this whole practical side that adulting demands that you think about. So it goes beyond now just doing what I like to do, and then having to do things that make sense. And I just had a very difficult time.
I'm so sorry to hear
dealing with that. But I think I'm a lot better now. This year I've been trying. I haven't managed to get any less busy, but I've really been trying to be more selective in terms of what I do, because I'm just so open to, that's a good opportunity, that'd be nice.
And not all opportunities we need to say yes to.
Which is very difficult for me, because I'm like, life is to live,
Yes.
Just do everything.
But you have to be living to do the life. And to do it well.
So that's what my cup is filled with. Decisions. Trying to make the good ones, or at least hope that I learn in whichever ones that I make in ways that are not painful.
Good luck. Let me know if you figure out how to do that last part, because I'm still figuring it out.
We try my best to avoid taking risks that might harm me. But the risks are just today, one of my coworkers said that the best things in life are on the other side of the risks, and I said that's a little bit debatable. But just trying to make the most of my time and my energy.
I think that's important, and I think a lot of us learned that lesson in COVID. So it's like, okay, now you have all this time, but what are you doing with it? So when you don't have time, how are you filling the limited time that you have?
No, COVID completely changed the way that I think about time. Completely. In a kind of good and bad way, to the point where I was just telling you, everything in life is negotiable.
Everything in life is negotiable.
All the things, if school could, everything in life is negotiable, and time COVID just taught me that time is not really a real thing.
It's an imaginary construct. I've been saying this. It's an imaginary construct.
It's not a thing. So now I don't feel a sense of urgency about a lot of things, because
that's
it's just
fantastic.
It's like the sky is still going to be blue. The price of cricks is going to remain the same.
Is it?
Whether I do this in this hour or the next. Don't rush me.
Don't rush me.
Don't rush me.
Hello?
Cool. Me and COVID and time is a story.
And time is a commodity, and a lot of us don't treat it that way. So it's like, I'll do this, I'll do that, and your time is an important part of what you're doing. That almost counts for, it counts as much as pay if you do something.
Time is money.
Time is money.
For sure.
So your cup is full, you're doing quite a lot, but what are some of the things that you're doing? So you're a Renaissance woman. as I lovingly and jokingly referred to in the beginning, but it's so true, right? We know you're an actress, a performer, right? Some of us would have seen Harmony in A Brighter Sun, right? I know you did 2 roles. Yes, Ricardo is applauding. So you had the main role of Rita, and then what was your other role? I didn't see you in the other role. I come for you in Starship.
I was customer 3.
Customer 3.
Yeah, I was customer 3. So I had a minor role, as performers, we know there's no such
there are
thing
no
as
small
roles.
Yes.
Any small actors. So I was customer 3. I had a supporting role.
Role,
some nights, and then I had a main role on other nights. Yeah.
Lead. She doesn't want to say that, but I'll say it. Right. And I found that you were fantastic because I went there not expecting you to be in that role. Like that. I just wanted to see you play because I'd never read the book. Right? I had never read the book. It wasn't one of my literature lists. I didn't read it. And I knew that you were involved, but I did not know how. So I did get one of the programs and, coming through, and I was like, oh, Harmony. And then I saw you on the stage and I was like, this is amazing. How was that experience for you?
Oh, it was really beautiful. One of the struggles of being a performer is finding texts, finding groups, finding people who are really worth their words. You have a lot of people who say a lot and they don't, I don't want to say put their money where their mouth is because it's not about money, but they don't put the respect behind the work that they should, and they don't hold the accountability for producing good work. And people paying money to sit down in the theater and them sort of chat
for 1.5 to 2 hours maybe.
So it was really refreshing to work with a team that was so serious about the work, but not serious in the sense that they're rigid, but they're very respectful and reverent of the work and of the role that work like that does for society. The messages that we deliver and how we deliver them is not just about making money. The social value of it is really so important.
Correct.
And I learned so much in that process, and being on stage to perform something that I'm proud of, like a piece of literature that I'm proud to bring to life, was just really great.
And A Brighter Sun is one of the standards. Locally. What is the name of the production company?
Irie Theatre Productions.
Irie Theatre Productions. Big up you, Irie, and big up to my friend Alicia Edwards, who was stage manager. Hi, Alicia. Yes. It really was quite an amazing thing to see, and I did feel, I remember sharing this with friends after, I felt transported. Which I think is what is the mark of any good production. For that time, I forgot that I was in a play. And I was in the story. And I mean, as a member of the theater community myself, that one time I did a play in Holy Faith Convent. I was in the drama club for Sandfest. But, that is something that you want to do. As an actor, you want to make sure that for that time period, your viewers, your audience members, they are lost in that world.
Yeah, suspension of disbelief.
That's right.
Yes, that is what you want to do.
And that is how I felt. Wow. I felt transported back to that time. I believed everybody. I was caught up in the story. I felt all the emotions. It was really good.
That is honestly the biggest compliment that you could give to a production.
It was absolutely fantastic. Did you cry? Ricardo cried a little bit.
You cried when Sukdeo died?
Yeah. Yeah. How could I forget about Suks? Yeah, boy.
Suks. Did you? Wow.
Yeah, when he was beating his wife, I was like, I wanted to be like, Tiger, what?
Yeah.
So the fact that you're feeling that involved, you feel all the emotions, I would say excellent job.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Excellent job.
A huge compliment.
I think you were not Harmony. I definitely did not. While I saw aspects of you, it really was this other person. You were Rita.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying
You're welcome, girl. I'm going to say the things. Right? And Harmony, she doesn't just perform. She is also aware from the back end because she was also a theatre arts teacher. At Holy Faith Convent, Penal.
The best convent in South.
Oh, it's fighting words. You know where we are? Yeah, the owners are great scheme. But anyway,
facts is facts. Facts is facts.
So that was really that was quite a lovely element to see you in. And then of course we live on an island. So there may be 2 to 3 degrees of separation from everybody else. So you all may remember in our season 3, we had Joshua Regrado as one of our guests. And he would have mentioned Harmony as his best friend, right?
He did.
I mean, I can't remember, it was on or off camera. It was on camera.
Oh.
Yes. Right? Because I think we were talking about, the people we had in common.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to my goddaughter's dance recital.
And there
right? That was on 5678
yes.
dance studio. And then I saw Harmony on the people's stage. Right? And not only was she on the people's stage mashing up the place, they also did a little recording, talking about the history of the dance studio.
Yeah.
And there was little tiny tot Harmony.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So sweet. So you've really been in the performing arts practically almost all your life.
Yeah. I started dancing when I was 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
A friend's mom was like, you need to come to dance class. You need to learn to do ballet. You need to learn to do modern. And then I stuck with it all the way until I went to university and went back. So that was my first time dancing with the school since I've been an adult.
So it was a full circle moment for you.
For sure, definitely. And that was celebrating 20 years of the dance school.
Right,
and I was in the first set of students, and also I stayed there up until now.
Forever and a day. Yes.
So it was quite an experience, going back into that rigorous process of preparing for a dance show.
Yes.
Things have not been the same since. But it was really, really beautiful to see how the arts impacts so many people and families in these strong ways. Because being in that dance school, honestly, is such a huge part of who I am, my personality as a Renaissance woman.
That's right.
Charlene Harris, my dance teacher and my second mom, has had a huge impact on who I am as a person. So I don't know that I would be able to tackle life in the way that I do without the grounding. It's like military type.
It's discipline, right? It is discipline.
Charlene Harris don't play.
Because a lot of people think dancers, they look pretty, but dance you need discipline, and it is a discipline.
Yeah, it's one I want to say it's one of the hardest arts that you could do. Yeah. It demands so much of your body and your mind and everything, your time. Yeah.
And I didn't know because I had 1 or 2 people have their children at that I know at 5, 6, 7, 8. But when I went to, because another goddaughter, this was pre-COVID, I was dancing with them. A lot. That's a talking point for my friends. Let's not bring that up. Right? And she and her sister, they were in the recital. And I was hearing this voice. And I'm like, that voice sounds so familiar. But I've never met Charlene Harris. But then I saw her sister. And I was like, for those of you who remember Westwood Park, she was Sahara on Westwood Park. It was like amazing. They need to bring that back. I don't know if you remember that, but it's a little.
I've heard about it.
Yeah, but it was vibes. Like, you remember Westwood Park? It's the local soap opera. Yeah, and it was so good. Like, a lot of people that in the performing arts, they were in that show. Who's that? Chris Garcia was in it. He was in Westwood Park.
True.
Yes, he was in Westwood Park.
with the
Natasha, I can't remember Natasha's last name. Richards. Yeah, she was in it. Like a couple people. Well, everybody, a good bit of people were in that show. So it was like, again, 2 degrees of separation. Yeah, between people. Because why would you have a sister with a whole dance studio and sometimes you're expecting to see you here, right? So we have dance and we have your stage performance. Tell us about your content creation, producing business.
Wow, yeah. So I don't want to say started off. I've been in a lot more aspects of digital marketing than people know. I started doing my own content creation at Hartford Harmony about 2 years ago. Okay. It's not something that I particularly wanted to do. But I felt like it was part of my duty. Okay. As somebody with the knowledge that I do have and the life experience and the passion. Yeah. And I guess I could say also the capability and the resources, because there's no real money behind Hartford Harmony, and always be running on $0 and favors. Yeah, well, welcome to Chit Chatt with 2 Teas. Welcome to Chit Chatt with 2 Teas. And oh my God, the most heartwarming thing is when I ask people to be a part in whatever way, and they're like, oh, I wouldn't charge you for that. Yeah. But for you, like, they don't even question it. I can't tell you how grateful I am to be in that space, that I know so many talented people who are willing to, and we know that time is money. But they're willing to give me their time and their talent for free to make it happen, because they think that what I do is important. Yeah, it's what you put out, right?
How many charge us for this?
Harmony is not charging us for this. She better not be, because I don't know how she getting paid.
Anyway, Ricardo. Yes, so that's part of my content creation journey. I've been working on marketing things for a lot of things in the arts and entertainment.
Awesome.
And carnival as well. But now I do it as my full-time job as well. I'm a digital content producer. I work for a marketing agency. So I work with brands, come up with concepts, produce them, bring them to life, direct shoots, find talent, budget, promote things, sell ideas, you know, all the up and downs of it, which has, you know, done some interesting things for my personal content creation journey. I'm in a weird place with my personal content creation journey, honestly, because it's one of those things that takes so much time.
It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time.
It's a lot of time and a lot of resources, and it just became really difficult to do it for the likes, you know?
Yeah.
So I am still kind of figuring out where I'm in terms of that. I have a lot of things that I would like to do, but again, just economizing on my time and how I spend it. Yeah, so that's one of the areas of decisions.
Yeah, and because we were having a conversation with, you know, one of our other guests, Shari Winchester, about how things have changed in terms of, I mean, there's probably at least a decade between you and I.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thereabouts. Right? At least a decade or so. But I think things have changed so much from even back then. Like, at that point in time, I don't think if you had said, I'm going to work full time as a content creator, that would have been something possible.
A what?
Or encouraged. Right? That wasn't even, you know, an opportunity. But now those children coming up, they have those options, right? And those options can actually be more viable than the traditional route. Yeah, because I can tell you, you know, when I remember that during COVID, people wasn't really too keen on their mental health, but they was getting them nails done. Right? They were getting their nails done, even though it was not an essential service.
Yeah.
Right? So I think it's true. It's very true.
Yeah.
So now that you have that like as an option, I think it's absolutely amazing. But you also know the difficulty in doing it.
Yeah.
Is it something that you would encourage young people to do?
Absolutely. I don't think you have anything. Okay, in everything in life, you have things to lose because there's a lot of public perception surrounding it, but it definitely feeds your creativity and it can open you up to lots and lots of opportunities. So I would say definitely, if you have a knack for it, if you don't want to do it, if you don't like to do it, you don't like this screen, you don't like the camera, you don't like having to interact with people online, don't do it, because it takes a lot out of you. Which is why I'm quite bad at responding to messages and emails and things. Yeah,
but she does though.
I do.
She does. Eventually, she does.
I do. So yeah, it's one of those things. It's like any other thing. Law. You can't study law if you don't really want to do it, because you're gonna be like, all this for what?
Wasting the time.
All of this to that? No. You know. So it's one of those things. You have to really want to do it.
Yeah.
But just throw your hat in the ring. It takes very little. Everybody has a phone now.
Yeah.
Everybody has a phone with a camera. You don't need high production. Things like me, don't do that. Don't start off doing high production quality things. It's very difficult to maintain. Very difficult. Yeah, look, people like, sorry to name drop, but Kwame Weeks.
Yeah.
By Burglar Bars.
Big up to you, Kwame.
One of the biggest to ever do it.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, I would definitely say it. And again, it's one of those things that feeds your creativity.
Yeah.
So throw your hat in the ring. Don't study, people. Don't study. But I think that's what makes my content creation journey easy. I don't feel obligation to post at certain times, to post a certain amount. I just post what I want to post when I want to post it when I can.
Yes.
Because I have a life.
She has a life.
Yeah.
Get it together. And is that something that your family was supportive of? Because it's not the traditional, right? It's not stable necessarily. Was that... I was grown up with this first of all, when I started content creation, it's not like I was like, yes, of course I had a plan and I knew what I wanted to do, but
it wasn't a big thing that I announced and I said, okay, I'm going to switch careers or anything like that. It was just really for me to have almost archival information out there. I really just wanted people to have a platform to know about the things that I know so that they could appreciate their culture any way that I do. But barring that, my parents grew me up with this crazy idea that I could do whatever I want in life. And that has been the best and worst part of my life, because I'm just like everything that I start is just that I watch.
I can do it. Yeah.
Like up to now, God, when I go on a plane, it's even sick, because like I would watch and I'm like, I feel like I could be a pilot, you know? Like,
wait.
When
so you're not even saying I could be a flight attendant. You're like, I could be the pilot.
Yeah.
I like that you're always aiming high.
Yeah. No, when I go by the dentist, I say, you know, how long it will take for me to like.
I mean, because I can do this.
Yeah. I do that a lot. Every single thing that I've been involved in my life, spoken word is a very good example. I was just like,
you're part of the movement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I used to be more
Once
than
upon
I
a
am
time.
now.
Once upon a time.
One of those time, you know, when I was cutting budget. It's one of those things that I cut out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's me watching and saying, I feel like I could do that. Yeah. And just doing it.
And you did it.
Yeah, because my parents said I could do whatever I want. So I just do it. You know,
I love that.
Yeah.
That is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So they're supportive of you in this field now.
Yes. My mother does have questions sometimes.
Of
so
course.
she's like, oh, you do so much work. You know, she's very impressed with the work that I do. I can't believe you do all of this. And then she's like, we're getting out of it, you know.
Is there a pension plan?
Yeah. It's like, all right, so beneath all of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I then I have a way of blocking out the noise. So if there's anybody, I don't really think there's anything to be not supportive of.
Yeah.
You know, it's not to say that I'm doing anything nefarious or questionable.
No, just in the fact that it is not traditional, right? And I know a lot of people in the older generation, for them stability is, you know, having a salary that comes at the end of the month that doesn't change, having a pension plan, you know, having those types of things. So, you know, also not necessarily understanding what content creation would be. I know some people, they're like, I don't understand it, so maybe not. Are you sure this is what you want to do? But it seems like your parents are definitely behind you.
I mean, what makes it easy, but even my mother is she's a rogue woman. She's
like mother, like daughter?
Yeah, I try to be less rogue than mommy though. She's real rogue. But she I think she what makes it very easy is that it has never been I never made my bread and butter something that is unconventional.
Right.
Because I just can't handle that. I really respect people who do.
Yeah.
And they don't get paid a set salary at the end of the month. I respect it, but I can't deal with
Same.
I'm not for that. So I always have my 9 to 5.
Right.
And then what I do.
Okay.
So it's like, oh yeah, that thing she just do now, she's make them video and them, you know, nothing much to worry about, because it's not like she's making them video and them and that's where she's supposed to get her money from, and she's not. Money.
Like, let's not even. We're not going there.
Yeah, boy.
But speaking about videos, how did the idea for even Hartford Harmony, how did that come up?
So remember when I told you I didn't really want to do it?
Yeah.
Not because, well, okay, I have friends who are content creators and I find their life very difficult.
What?
Very difficult.
Tell me more.
When they are full-time content creators.
Yes.
Your entire existence is centered around portraying certain aspects of yourself. And I find that so tiring. And there's always perception. Like people feel the right or they feel as though they're in a position to have perceptions about what you do.
They're entitled.
Yeah, that is the word.
They are entitled.
And I does what I want. You know,
at all times.
And I like to live in a moment with it. And as much as I love to show my life on social media, I think I have a very interesting life.
I would agree.
I just think the obligation to have to post
all the time
is so burdensome.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, because you need to make money doing it, you have to post things that you don't necessarily want to.
Yeah.
When I'm promoting a certain brand, not I personally,
Yes.
I love my job, love my clients. You know, it's not necessarily that I want to, but I have to do this so that I make money. I'm not particularly passionate about this table.
Yeah.
You know, but I have to make a video about the table because that's what the client wants and they're paying me money to do it.
Yeah.
I find that very tiring and I just prefer to do something like that on my own volition, on my own accord.
Yeah.
So I didn't really want to do it. And then I don't like that society has this thing now about monetizing your passions and your talents.
Yes.
And everything is about, well, you can make money doing nothing.
Yeah.
So I just kind of wanted to just live, you know. I didn't want to have to do it. But during COVID, when Twitter Spaces...
Hello, COVID.
When Twitter Spaces was a thing.
Yeah.
And people used to be on Spaces whole day, just talking, listening, minding people business, back and all this, that discussion, panel, all kind of thing. I found that a lot of spaces would be, because of course we didn't have Carnival, a lot of spaces would be about Carnival and culture and things like that. And there's one in particular, I'm not going to name drop, but there was a soca artist who was on this panel speaking about culture and Carnival. And one of my friends chimed in to say, yeah, there are lots of things about Carnival that people don't know, like, and they mentioned the Jamet and the soca. This is a well-known soca artist. He laughed and he had no idea, even though he's so deeply involved.
Yeah.
And he is the son of a Calypsonian as well.
Okay.
And he had no idea that that was such an important part of our
the culture.
Carnival history. And I had to chime in on this space and kind of jump in and edumacate. And everybody's like, whoa, didn't know that. And then from that and from just generally knowing things about Trinidad and Tobago that people generally don't, people would then turn to me as like the little culture expert, like, ask Harmony, what I mean, ask Harmony, you know? So then people started asking, okay, when are we going to get content? And then when people ask things,
then you're less inclined.
Like, I used to suck my finger, and the day people stopped telling me to stop sucking my finger is when I stopped. You know. So eventually, I just said, I think I'm wasting my talent. I'm wasting my potential by not doing it. And I have the resources too. I think I have the personality too. Sure. I have the drive, I have the vision. So Harmony, just do it. It's not about you. It's for the culture. It's literally for the culture. Literally for the culture.
Yes.
And then...
That was amazing.
Yeah. My mother calls me Hot for Harmony because I'm always out and about.
Yes.
Right? So remember I told you I have a kind of thing with the name now. Yeah. I didn't realize that Hotfoot had such strong connotations towards partying and liming. Because, unfortunately, as Trinbagonians, our perception of when you're out means party lime.
Yeah, liming.
We don't think you're going to art gallery, you're going on a hike, you know.
I just knew it as you're always out. I also didn't know it was only liming. Well, or primarily liming.
I learned that the hard way. Because now everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people are just like, you know, you was the party girl, you're always in a party. And I'm like,
when did you see me in a party?
That. And then they say, well, your name is Hotfoot. And I say, well, I didn't realize that's what it meant. Right. My mother calls me Hotfoot Harmony because I like always a white line. I'm always on the road somewhere. You know, I don't like home. So I really struggled with that perception because I think it really, and the thing about it is a lot of the time when I'm out, I'm working. Yeah. You know, I'm working. I am in the creative industry.
But they don't know that.
They don't know that. They think that when out means party. Yeah. And I just really didn't like what that says for me because it's really not about that.
But you were doing such good work with it as well.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And I don't make content about parties.
You know I've never seen you do that.
Only content.
I'm like, oh, this is what this word means? Thank you. I mean, like, now I know.
It's going on hikes, it's going to museums, and then somehow people are just like, a party girl. So that I really struggled with that, but I just had to accept and be give people more grace, understand that it's not them, it's our culture that has to do with a kind of limited understanding of what
it influences societal perceptions. Yes, it does.
Yes. So that is the story about how Hot for the Harmony came about.
So you're no longer doing that? Or you're doing it and it looks different?
No. I once I have the time, which I never do, but I just people say, "Oh, you have the time." I don't.
I have to do it.
I just do it.
Yeah.
Once I have the catch of apps, and start back. I will, as much as I can, and keep kind of just growing and expanding. I don't think that I will ever make the decision to stop. So it's there. It will happen. I would love if, I could get sponsorship for it to happen. It would be a lot easier.
We would love it if we could get some sponsorship.
We would love
for Harmony to continue.
Well, not for Harmony.
Being
for the culture.
Well, you didn't let me finish. For Harmony to continue being our cultural ambassador, right? Our cultural educator.
Yeah.
Because, and also, a lot of these things are being lost, right? All of these children with access to so much information don't have information about Trinidad and Tobago's culture.
Correct.
Right? So for them, culture is carnival time, in your fete, and we watch big bands, and that's it.
Yeah.
These traditional characters, they don't know anything about, they know very little about. And I mean, I guess as the adults, we have to take some responsibility because we're not passing that on. We're not ensuring they know that. We're not teaching that in school, right? So coming on to, well, I guess that could probably be a pet peeve of yours, which would bring us to our next segment, in terms of what boils your water. So for me, that's something I think that we don't do. And I also hold myself accountable because how much do I really know about our traditional figures? I have access in terms of youth in my church. Am I saying, okay, it's carnival time, let's go to, I think I saw you and my cousin, hi Carice, went to a carnival museum, right, where they had all this information about, right? So did I tell my youth, okay, let's go? No, I didn't do that. I was like, well, take a few days, or they're having church camp, well, you can do that, that's fine, right? Because I was home. But, but I also take responsibility for that. So I guess I am part of the problem, not the solution.
We all are.
Yeah. But what boils your water?
Honestly, actually, a lot of things do. But one thing in particular that I was thinking about as you're speaking there, Trinbagonians can be very patriotic, but we can be very self-centered, and we do think we're the center of the universe.
Yes.
And when people don't know things about us, even though we don't know much about anybody else,
that's true.
Even in this Caribbean that we in this archipelago,
you better. Yes.
We take it very personally, and I think become very antagonistic towards people for not knowing. Yeah. And I don't like that because a lot of times I always say people don't know what they don't know. Yeah. It's not their fault that, most of us are part of the problem. Yeah. So I don't like that when it comes to educating or teaching a lesson. It really boils my blood when you take a teaching and learning moment and turn it into a shaming moment. Yeah. But that is the one of the hallmarks of the older theory of teaching, right? Of their pedagogy. Shame is a hallmark. That's what they don't see it like that because that's not what they think it is. They think it's discipline, right? And they think if I do this, then you're not going to repeat this mistake. Yeah. But that's not how it goes. I think we get so defensive about so many things. Like, let me ask you about something happening in Kenya. Yeah. Or Jamaica. Or St. Lucia. Yeah. Grenada, right there. Tobago. What you know about what's going on in Tobago? Yes. And I'm thinking about a tweet that I saw. It was something about it was an article about the scarlet ibis and it being protected. And somebody from a different country said, "Oh, they have the ibis bird in Trinidad." That's all they said. Yeah. And people hounded her and they were like, yes, it's our national bird. Google is free. But also, if I'm not from this country, why do I want to know what a national bird is? Tell me the national bird of Kenya right now. Right? And people just started getting, without thinking. And I think it's that impulsive reaction before we kind of sit back and say, all right, where's this person coming from? Mentally, in terms of their knowledge, where are they coming from when they say this? And how do I not make this a fight? Why are we fighting, you understand? Because everything is a fight. We always fight for the wrong things. Yeah. I will never forget, the cost of bread kept going up, right? Trinidadians grumbling, but they ain't really doing anything. Chocolate digestive. Chocolate digestive increased in price. And Trinidadians made the biggest stink. And felt like we were so victorious. And it went back down next week. But you're eating more bread and you're eating chocolate digestive. So what? Make it make sense. That math was the math. But this is the people. The math, don't be math. Yeah, the things that we really put that fighting energy behind.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I feel like it's a lot of misdirected energy.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big pet peeve for me.
And having been an educator in terms of the arts, right? Do you have any pet peeves there? Or were there some misconceptions that were directed your way in terms of that particular experience?
Oh, Lord. Okay, not to get too political. I have very strong pet peeves when it comes to the education
system on general, right?
Yeah. Big shreds, really very strong ones, and bureaucracy in general really, really has been the bane of my existence for maybe the past 4 years. I feel quite wounded by our country a lot of times in terms of our bureaucratic procedures and the way that our systems deal with things. So not to go too much on that side of things. I think the arts is one of the best things happening in education.
Talk the things.
To be honest, I think it's one of the best. It opens people up to a lot of things that they would have never been open to.
Yeah.
But my pet peeve aside from that was this kind of turn that education has taken toward, and I don't know if I'm wrong for this, but because I come from a mentality of being able to do whatever I want, I just did things that I liked. I love school. I love school. Always enjoyed school because I just used to do things that I liked learning. So like when I chose subjects, I was like, okay, which of these subjects do I like? And then I realized that my students will come into me and okay, miss, what job I could get with this?
Yes, because that is the mentality that their parents and the teachers push. And some of the teachers.
That makes me very sad.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, is that what it's about? Is it not just about what fuels you, what feeds you?
No, it's how you could make money from that.
And that was before the deep dark place when I went. I guess that's when I was still looking at the world with fresh eyes. Oh, just do what you want, and then I realized,
just follow your bliss.
No, you won't be able to pay your bills. I mean, you might, you could, and I'm not, discrediting that it happens and it can happen. And I think I'm working towards that definitely. But it makes me very sad that the education system has put so much emphasis on exams rather than the process of learning. And a lot of times people are like, how you know all these things? I learned a lot of this in school. I learned so much of this in Holy Faith Convent Penal. I learned so much of these things in school, you know? And it's because I was enjoying the process of learning. I'm not thinking about studying for an exam. You know? I mean, of course, in the higher years, I wanted a little scholarship. And
it would be helpful in that.
You're correct. Right? But I don't know. I think it especially in visual art as a subject, a lot of visual art students come out and never want to do art again because that exam wounds them so much and stifles their creativity so much. Really great, excellent, naturally gifted artists. So that is a very big pet peeve for me. This I feel like at that stage in life, at least, I'm not saying we want to just send children out there with no guidance and no
you have
vision.
to guide, but leave the room for them to grow and for them to make their own decisions based on what they feel works best for them.
I don't know, this whole thing about how much money I can make.
It doesn't have a pension.
That makes me sad.
It's a big deal because I remember when we were in school and we didn't have a teacher for Form 3 because the teacher we were supposed to have ended up getting a transfer. This was for math, right? One of the most important, right? So it's for math. And so for the majority, I think we had like a student teacher for a little while and then he ended up leaving. And we didn't have a teacher for the majority of that year. And so we entered Form 4 and there was a new teacher, Miss Smith. Pick up you, Miss Arlene Smith, best math teacher in the whole wide world. Yes. And she was like trying to get our mindset to change from, is this for marks? Like, is what we, because everything, if she says, okay, we're going to do this as the first question, this is for marks. And she's like, that is not going to help you learn. And she's the one who kind of reshaped all of our minds about what learning looked like, what learning in math looked like, how mathematics could actually be applicable in real life, in the real world, because we were missing that application before. And so I think because of that change, I mean, she had to work extra hard with us because it's 2 years essentially. You have to catch up now. Right? And all of us all of us passed.
Nice.
Right? There was nobody failing maths. And I really thought I was going to fail maths. To be quite honest. Everybody knows that I am, the math doesn't like me, and I don't like maths. And I don't count when I go out. And that kind of thing. Right? So I thank you, Miss Smith, because without her, I would not be where I am today, because I'd still be trying to get that maths. Right? So it really is a cultural thing. And I was having that discussion the other day, because it moves from learning, right? And we don't really learn, we regurgitate. Right? So it's like, okay, if you do all these past papers, you'll know what the exam is, and then you should be able to be successful.
Yeah.
You know, but then do you remember what you learned after?
Exactly.
Because I cannot tell you what a matrix is. I never remember matrices. Exactly. Like, oh, thank you. You core memory unlocked. Right? So I think it's a lot to do with that. And then when I was in Form 4, that we were the first batch of theatre arts students. You're welcome.
I was in the first batch of Cape Performing Arts students.
See, look at you, pioneers. Now, to be fair, I didn't write the exam because it was too much for me after a while.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, because I was doing my full 8 because it was so new, we weren't allowed to do it during class time.
Yes, you all used to do it after school. Yeah.
Right? And I was supposed to also be learning French, and which also didn't happen. But I ended up dropping the theatre arts. But all of that was also after we did so well in Sandfest, right? And with that play and everything like that, we did the Cinderella Syndrome by Zeno Obi Constance. Right? I'll never forget it because it was such an amazing experience. And it was so good in the play that in Sandfest that the school decided for us to do it over as a production, where we would do it as a fundraiser in the bowl, and it was just really amazing.
Nice.
But even just that perception at that time, where this is not really important, y'all could do it after school. Like, we're not going to make the time to include it in the curriculum because it's so new, right? But
there's a subject.
So thank you to Miss Lakeisha Duncan, big up you, right? Because she would have been our teacher, and Miss Polaya, rest her soul, she was also very much instrumental in getting that off the ground, because she was the one who was working with us for that play, right? So moving from there to where now it's on your curriculum, right? You'll have quite an amazing department.
We are known.
Yeah.
That's one of the things we are known for. There are students who come in Form 6 because they know Holy Faith. When you're doing drama, you're doing that.
So even if I got this to keep level now, it's such an amazing switch or progression of the view of, how it's perceived.
Definitely.
And I think having someone like you whom they can actually see doing it, I think that makes a lot of difference.
The best experience used to be my students coming to see me perform.
Yeah.
Is a movie?
A movie.
But you could come see me in a play.
Yeah.
It's
nice to see for them to be able to see that.
Yeah.
And then you did talk a little bit about how all of the things that you're, when you're Renaissance, like how.
But I just want to jump back to one thing you were saying.
Sure.
Because I struggled with that so much that this is for marks.
Yeah.
Because I don't care about marks. Don't care about it. When it comes to exam level, because I'm like, get your grades and get out. Yeah. But when it comes to anything, I used to be giving out marks. If you fail,
so if you excelled in Miss Farrell's class, not necessarily that you were amazing. She's just giving out that marks.
No, because I hate the that we have this feeling of failure. Okay, I failed drama, boy. Yeah. And I like this subject, and you might just not be academically
inclined.
If you get 48, you're passing it. I give you the next 2 marks. Oh gosh!
Thank you.
I used to be once I see that you put that effort in, and that whole thing up, and when parents come for Parents' Day, they want to know about how their child is performing. Let's see the marks. And I want to know
holistically.
I want to see how they are better able to communicate.
Yeah.
I want to see how they are more likely to put their hand up in class. I want to see how they interact with their peers.
Yeah.
I don't care what you get in your end of term exam. I want to know that when you are doing your work, you're doing it with a certain purpose, and you
want to see them as better people.
Yeah, I want to see and I struggled so much. Like, I would just be, and I love to teach. I teach, and I say, oh gosh, I don't do an assessment. An assessment was the hardest thing. I hated putting comments on reports because why am I judging? I don't know your story based on this mark. All I'm seeing is numbers and a name. Yeah, I don't know what you went through. Oh, and there were so many things that students went through during COVID.
Of course,
that would just,
especially family related. Yeah,
eye-opening.
the system doesn't accommodate for that
at all. And I'm like at the end of, and sometimes students will come and say, Miss, sorry, I won't be able to come to class today because this extremely tumultuous thing is happening. I'm so sorry that I was not able to submit your project on time. And I'm like, where's the focus here?
Yeah.
You know, and that I struggled with that so much. And it's not a thing with the school itself at all.
But that's the system.
That's the system. And the numbers, and I got that from my mother's an educator as well. She has been teaching. My mother has been teaching for, I want to say, over 40 years.
What does she teach?
Literature. She used to be a teacher educator, so she taught teachers to teach.
Very nice.
She used to lecture in feminism and gender studies. She's a very
so much about you is falling into place. Yeah. So much about you.
Yeah, so my mother is a kind of, you know, and she has changed people's lives. They would bounce up in the grocery now and say, Miss Farrell, I'll never forget you. Because and it's not that they remember how much they got in that course, but they remember that process of
remembered her.
Correct.
Yes.
And the experience. So I just wanted to point out that was another thing that weighed on me as being an educator.
No problem. We are here for you to talk the thing. So thank you for sharing that with us. You know, your first-hand experience. Really appreciate that. And then you also spoke about you know, kind of having some low moments, a dark time. I think you called it last year when you were renaissancing. And the weight of everything was coming down. So that kind of leads me to ask, how is your mental health?
I think my mental health is very good. It's generally, I think generally it is really good. Yeah. Because I really do things I don't want to do now, boy.
And I feel like, ladies and gentlemen, this is the key. This is the key to good mental health.
Just do what you want to
decrease the stress. I want you not harming anybody.
Yeah.
Do what you
Yeah.
And it's a wrap. Thanks for coming. Yes, but
no,
tell us.
I think I generally, because I don't really feel pressure to do a lot of things, and I don't think that there are things that I'm supposed to be doing until every now and again somebody would mention, and I'm like, I didn't realize that's something I was expected to do.
To be.
Yeah, that's a big thing too. When I realized that people kind of started looking at me as though I had a peak and then I plummeted, because it's like, oh, she couldn't do this. She's just a teacher. She just said this. You know, whatever
you're supposed to be.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I didn't know I was supposed to be something else. I'm happy, you know. I'm happy. Yeah. That's it at the end of the day. But I think
I thought I'd see more after 12, and no, I didn't really.
Yeah, she could have been there. You know? And I just didn't really know or care that that's what people thought. Yeah, because I went to school abroad. Yeah, I think there's this general thing that when you come back and you kind of go into the system, there's a level of failure. Like you went abroad and come back for what, boy?
Where'd you go?
Yeah, so where do all of that for?
What school did you attend?
I went to University of Surrey and Guildford School of Acting. Yeah.
That's in the UK, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, the United Kingdom.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's
fantastic.
Yeah, but I think generally my mental health is I'm a very emotionally stable individual.
Okay.
I think initially when you asked me, I was not in the position that I am now.
Right.
Because your life circumstances have so much to do with how you feel on a daily basis. When I get up in the morning, how do I feel about what I have to do today? And because at that point when you initially asked me to come, everything that I had to do throughout the day felt burdensome.
Heavy.
Yeah. It was a lot more difficult. And especially being an educator, at least for me, you have to show up for these children every day. They remember things that you would never think you do. Miss, I tell you good morning and you never tell me back.
Yes, and they take it to heart.
I didn't hear you, you know.
And they take it to heart.
If I tell you good morning and I kind of tone, they say, well, why am I talking to you? And it could be that I have these things on your mind or whatever. But you have to, it's difficult. Yeah. But you have to kind of perform.
Yes.
And you have to show up for these children. And a lot of them don't get that love at home.
So they look for it in school.
Correct. And they say, I like this teacher. Whether they know your name or not, I like how she's dressed.
That teacher.
And I want her to like me too, right? And you have to give them that validation. And it became so difficult because of the circumstances that the bureaucracy put me in. Not the school.
The system.
The school was absolutely best work environment. Loved working there. But the position that the system put me in as somebody who has been a high achiever, somebody who's very passionate about what they do and very willing to do a lot. And I just feel like a lot of times in this country, unfortunately, we don't recognize talent in the ways that we should. And we don't put people who we should in the positions that we should. So that just became, I had a growl with because I felt like I wanted to give back to this place that made me who I am, and it didn't appreciate what I was doing. You know, and
that would have been difficult for you.
Yeah, as I think all artists go through that at a point in time when they're like, oh, we have so much ambitions for Trinidad, but then we show that we don't want to change. You know, we want to come back after the pandemic and do things the same way that it was before. So I went into one big spiral. And people it was one of those spirals. Now I like to show my life on social media just because I don't really feel like I have anything to hide.
Right.
So I think because people always see this upbeat version of me, and then I shared it, but I have a lot of people on my close friends on Instagram. Right. But I kind of spiraled on my close friends, and a lot of people were just so uncomfortable seeing Harmony in a mode like that. They're
like this is because it makes me realize that you're not just this personality.
Yeah, it's like
I have to touch base with you as a person.
Yeah, you have low moments.
Yeah. Wow. What is this? I don't know if I like it.
Yeah. You know. And there were so many people who reached out, and I realized that I was not alone in feeling the way that I did about a lot of things. Just questioning life purpose. Like, what is all of this?
What is it?
All of this just to dead.
Just to dead.
You know?
Yes.
And I think I came out of that pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly, just because I had an optimism that things will get better, you know.
You have a good support system.
Yeah, definitely. And I think I'm quite self-reliant, like emotionally. Whether or not the way I became self-reliant is the most healthy, you know.
Like you may need to come see me.
Yeah. Whether or not that is a good thing or not, I can't say. Some of my friends who was off the bat say, girl, that is a defense mechanism. Yeah. You need to heal. But I think that once I am able to keep myself happy, I feel like, I'm doing a very good job. Yeah. And there were a lot of times when I was like, you know what? Things hard, and I went through a very, very, very difficult year last year where I just spent a lot of time not really thinking about how difficult it was, and nobody would know. Like, that's the thing about social media. You see, man, you say, oh, she always all over the place. She was here, she was there.
But having that persona out there, having that mask on, it makes it worse.
Yeah.
When you're not confronting what you're dealing with.
You literally do not know what is going on when the camera stops rolling. You don't know what's going on in my home. You don't know what's going on in my heart. You don't know what's going on in my space. But I have such great friends. I have great friends. I had a very big disconnect with my family last year.
Sorry
to the point where, it's one of those things that happens. But to the point where I am like, my friends are my family. And I really saw support from so many of my friends, family members as well last year, that I don't think I could logically say that life is terrible when I have so much love around me. I could literally sleep by a different person every night. For like 2 months. And I just have people who are willing to take me in and do whatever it takes to
get you where you need to be.
To get me where I need to be. So I would say now I have a carnival to banker. So waking up in the morning and working is kind of like
waking up in the morning and waking.
Yes, like what am I looking forward to next?
The countdown is on.
But I think I have a real zest for life where I appreciate little things so much that it really keeps me going. The big things, the car, the house, the bills, the whatever, still way down. But I think I have a very healthy balance of seeing and experiencing so many beautiful things and beautiful people in life that I say,
your perspective is different.
Correct. Yeah. I have a lot of optimism because, if you were to just sit and think about all of the hard things in life every day, then oh gosh, you wouldn't get anything done.
Wouldn't get anything done.
But I definitely what improved my mental health a lot is money. Not to say I have a set of money, but just being able to reach the end of the month and buy groceries.
Yes, praise God, hallelujah.
And not counting pennies. And I am by no means a rich woman.
No, but I mean, there's a comfort.
Yeah. Being able to, boy. Ooh. Honestly, when people come back to me and they're like, "What was that thing about? You went through a thing," and I was like, "I was broke."
Listen to me. We can identify.
It's so terrible, and it makes me understand so many people. Like, sorry to say, but you'll go into establishments and be like, "Oh gosh, why these people acting like that? Why they speak to me like that? These people always have an attitude." And
it makes you more compassionate.
Life is so hard.
Life is hard. Life is lifing all the time.
Life is so hard. I just know people who are going through the pits of hell.
Yeah.
And it's just insane. Like, just really think about people's stories. I always am an advocate for being a nice person. But there are certain things in life that make it easier.
Yeah, of course.
To be a nice person.
And money is one.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
Harmony, I mean, I don't think I need to add anything else. This was absolutely amazing. Thank you for your yes. Right? We thoroughly enjoyed having you here. Thank you for sharing your experiences. Thank you for being vulnerable with us. I'm sure viewers would appreciate that. I know I do. So thank you so much. We expect to have you back. We'll follow up with you. See what's going on with you. We'll not refer to you as Hot for Harmony. Right? And we just thank you again for coming. You have such a beautiful spirit. I hope that you're always able to face everything with the grace and the strength and the compassion for yourself that you've displayed for us here today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
I tell you, I like to talk, and this was
Renaissance woman.
Yeah, this was such a refreshing talk.
And a refreshing drink.
Mm-hmm.
Like a popsicle melt. I can't think first we talking.
Yeah, boy.
But that's okay. You can get that to go.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you again to the Fresh Press Factory for having us. Special thanks again to our extra special guests. And before I go on it, so I was telling you about my jersey, right? Savannah Grass, okay? Because our alma mater, okay, are the reigning 2024 National Schools Panorama champions.
First time entering, and that is something that we want to point out because everybody's like, "Oh, a Holy Faith Convent Penal Orchestra first time winning," making it seem like we're entering for 25 years and never win. It's the first time entering, and most of those girls had never played pan.
The majority had never played pan
November
before.
last year.
Right? So there's quite a Cinderella story.
I was
Quite an amazing feat. Yes, and that's one of the reasons I brought it up because if you look at the performance in the finals, you will see Farrell, right, waving the people and flag. Right? So again, and she's also figuratively keeping the HFCP flag waving very high. We're extremely proud of this woman in maroon. Right? So thank you guys. Make sure and keep checking us out. We expect to see you again back here. Well, it may not be here, but back here, right? In the Chit Chat space, right? To hear more about all our mental health actual factuals. All right? So again, I'm Jiel Valdez, counselor psychologist and host. And until next time, take care of yourselves. See you later. Bye. And scene. Yay! You did so good.